Australian V8 supercar racing is the closest we get to seeing the average Aussie family sedan flat out on a racetrack. But just how much is left of a standard road car once it looks like this? And here's the scary part, how much more does it cost? Dick Johnson has a typical Level 1 V8 team, made possible by a number of sponsor investments. While you can go into any Ford dealer and buy a brand new manual Falcon GLI, you can't do the same with a race car like Dick's or John Bowes. They have to be built by the crew at Dick Johnson Racing. Dick, how much of the original road car is left in this race car we're looking at now?
Well, basically all the panels are stock standard as they come off the shelf, and the basics of the motor car, the V8 engine that it has, is the same as what the original road car is, but quite a bit different inside.
How much does it cost to build one of these V8 supercars?
Well, from the ground up, it's about $250,000 each, and we've got 3 cars in total. We race 2 and we've got 1 spare.
Dick, I imagine a V8 supercar team has quite an appetite for engines. How many engines have you got on board?
Well, we've got 7 engines in rotation. They do around about 3,000 to 4,000 kilometres of racing miles before we rebuild them.
Okay, well, let's have a look under the bonnet.
Mate, that's forbidden territory. You don't get under there.
Cost per engine, $60,000 each for around 600 horsepower. The family Falcons engine, $5,380, and that's for only 211 horsepower.
The gearbox is a 6-speed Hollinger gearbox made here in Australia. It has 6 forward gears and costs around about 20,000 Australian dollars. We don't even use a clutch sometimes when we want to change gear.
If you think a good-looking alloy wheel for your road car costs a lot, how about $2,000 each for these? And that's just for the red bits. Each car has 40 spare wheels. Tyres? Your average Dunlop road tyres are going to set you back about $100 each, and you can expect to replace them after about 60,000 Ks. But in Dick's case, you're looking at $650 each tyre. In a year, the 2 cars each use 300 tyres. Dick gets an average of just 50 kilometres from each set. Dick, I imagine these V8 supercars aren't that economical to run. Now, the people at Ford tell me the Falcon GLI uses 7.6 litres per 100 kilometres on the highway. What's car 17 do?
Well, the fuel that we use is just straight out of the Bowser, ultra-high unleaded fuel, and they utilise around about 50 litres per 100 Ks, which is significantly more, I must admit, than the GLI.
The crew at Dick Johnson Racing have to do a lot of miles on the track and on the highway. Both cars, the tyre ration, a spare of every part on the cars, and the mobile workshop all fit into this flash-looking transporter. And if you thought the V8 supercars were thirsty, the old Dick Johnson Racing Transporter's a bit of a gas guzzler too. At 44 litres per 100 kilometres added to the fuel bill, it's just as well the boys at Dick Johnson Racing